let's look at someone else who's making a mess. Let's look at the Education Secretary. Oh, there she is. Labour pledged to recruit 6,500 more teachers. So can the Prime Minister tell the House how many extra teachers are there since she became Education Secretary?
More than when they left office. I'm very proud to say so. We're on a trajectory. Oh, Mr. Speaker. They left our health service on its knees. They left our schools in a mess. They left our economy absolutely broken. They're utterly ashamed of their record in service.
Kemi Badenoch.
Wrong. Mr. Speaker, there are now 400 fewer teachers since she came into office. She's shaking her head. It's on the DFE website. Does she not check it once in a while? I can understand that the Right Honourable Lady is angry. We're all angry at the mess she's making.
Good day and welcome back to British Report. Right, everyone, hold on to your hats because we are witnessing the final explosive political showdown of 2025. It's the last Prime Minister's questions of the year, and Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch hasn't just come to play, she's come to deliver a knockout blow. We are talking about a Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, who is walking into the Commons today not as a triumphant leader, but as a man under siege from every conceivable angle. From the junior doctors' 5-day pre-Christmas strike that kicks off this morning to the bombshell revelation that the UK is set to rejoin the UE's Erasmus scheme, Starmer is trapped in a pincer movement of his own making. But the real fire, the real confession that Badenoch is set to exploit comes from Starmer's own lips during his recent end-of-year grilling by the Liaison Committee. He was forced to admit he's aware that his family farm tax is driving elderly farmers to consider the unthinkable just to protect their heritage. This is the moment where the polished mask of sensible reform slips, and Badenoch is ready to ensure it truly ends Keir Starmer. Quick favour, if you want the most high-energy, no-holds-barred breakdown of the final Westminster battle of the year, hit that subscribe button. Over 92% of viewers haven't yet. It's free, takes a second, and means the world to us. Thanks if you did. Now back to the show, because the atmosphere in the chamber is absolutely electric. Let's start with the immediate crisis hitting every household in the country, the junior doctors' strike. As of 7 a.m. this morning, resident doctors across England have walked out for a massive 5-day strike, a move the British Medical Association deliberately timed to cause maximum disruption in the run-up to Christmas. Hospitals are already reporting the highest flu admissions since records began, with cases surging by over 250% in a single week. And what is the government's response? Health Secretary Wes Streeting is calling the doctors self-indulgent, irresponsible and dangerous, while Starmer himself is branding the very people we rely on as irresponsible. Badenoch is poised to shred this narrative. She'll point out that after Labour's massive unconditional 28.9% pay rise last year, the BMA still feels they have the government over a barrel. It's a spectacular failure of negotiation that has left patients facing thousands of cancelled operations during the worst pressure the NHS has faced since COVID. Starmer's 10 out of 10 disappointment is nothing compared to the fury of families whose Christmas surgeries have just been binned. But if the NHS crisis is a slow-motion car crash, the Erasmus scheme news is a political hand grenade. Reports have surfaced this morning, conveniently timed for the end of the year, that the UK has reached a £570 million deal to rejoin the EU's student exchange programme in 2027. While the government claims this is about breaking down barriers, the opposition sees it as the first major step in Starmer's Great EU Reset. Badenoch will frame this as a betrayal of the Brexit mandate, a costly move to appease Brussels while domestic students struggle with soaring costs at home. She'll ask why £570 million is being found for European exchanges, while the government claims it has no money to prevent farm closures or settle with doctors. It's the perfect globalist Keir narrative for Badenoch to hammer home, painting Starmer as more interested in the Sorbonne than the surgeries in Solihull. The final and perhaps most devastating line of attack comes from Starmer's disastrous appearance before the Liaison Committee this week. In what can only be described as a chilling admission, Starmer was confronted by Labour's own Cat Smith over the family farm tax. She told him that elderly and terminally ill farmers are so terrified of the 20% inheritance tax raid coming in April that they are actively planning to expedite their own deaths to pass on their land tax-free. Starmer's response, a cold, detached admission that he was aware of these reports, followed by a robotic insistence that this is sensible reform. Badenoch is ready to turn this confession into Starmer's political obituary. She will argue that a prime minister who is aware of such profound human despair caused by his own policy, yet refuses to blink, is a leader who has lost his moral compass. Between a winter flu epidemic, a 5-day strike he can't stop, and a tax policy that is literally a matter of life and death for rural Britain, Starmer is facing a perfect storm. Badenoch isn't just asking questions today, she's highlighting the total collapse of the Labour project. As the final PMQs of 2025 wraps up, it's clear Kemi Badenoch is the one with the momentum, and Keir Starmer is just trying to survive until the recess. Thank you so much for watching.